A predominantly black college in central Illinois that's been around for almost 160 years will shut down today. Lincoln College will close just weeks after the school's president told the Chicago Tribune a ransomware attack against the college helped mask the enrollment numbers. The president said the school paid the ransom and then discovered enrollment would stay flat instead of increasing. The college needed $50 million to stay open. A push to raise the funds fell short. In the courtroom, a Peoria man will spend 3 decades behind bars after being sentenced for the death of his infant son. Zachary Yao was arrested last November and charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder. Yao pleaded guilty to the 4th charge of first-degree murder and will spend 30 years behind bars with the Illinois Department of Corrections. Because he pleaded guilty to the 4th charge, charges 2 through 3 were dismissed. The first charge had already been dismissed prior to Thursday's sentencing. The 30 years handed down by Judge Catherine Gorman will be followed by 3 years of parole. Looking ahead to the day, a bench trial begins this afternoon for Jeffrey Ranking in Tazewell County. In February, his son and Morton native Travis Ranking was convicted of shooting and killing 4 people at a Tennessee Waffle House in 2018. Jeffrey is charged with unlawful delivery of a firearm, which was later allegedly used in the mass shooting. Prosecutors allege Jeffrey gave Travis a gun knowing his son had been a mental health patient within the last 5 years. We'll have updates on the trial on WMBD News at 5 and 6. The cleanup process is beginning at PEORIA after a grain bin explosion Wednesday. 1 grain bin was destroyed, 3 others were damaged in the incident. Today, Peoria Chief Sean Solberger says PEORIA is working with OSHA and a mitigation company to create a cleanup plan. He says the damaged silos are expected to be demolished this weekend and possibly into next week. The cause of the explosion is under investigation. OSHA is leading that investigation, which a spokesperson says they have 6 months to complete. 3 West Peoria businesses have been cited for selling alcohol to minors. Employees at Express Liquors in West Peoria on Northwestern Avenue, Farmington Food and Liquor on Farmington Road, and Express Liquors on Farmington are now cited for illegal sale of alcohol to a minor. Captain Chris Watkins says, quote, "We are trying to prevent the tragedies we have witnessed with underage drinking," end quote. In a crime alert, a streeter man has been arrested and charged in a deadly hit-and-run crash in LaSalle. Deputies arrested 26-year-old Gabriel Benitez for failure to report an accident/death. It's a Class 1 felony. Officers found Benitez at a residence in STREATOR. He's been transported to the LaSalle County Jail. His bond has been set at $200,000. From our Capitol newsroom, Governor J.B. Pritzker signed another crime-fighting bill into law this morning. This one takes aim at high-profile organized retail theft like smash and grabs. The crime will now be a felony for the thieves and the organizers. State Senator Dave Kaler supported the bill and says most provisions in the bill take effect immediately. It also eliminates jurisdictional issues for prosecutors when the theft happens in one county, but the items are sold in another. Online marketplaces will also be required to collect and verify the identity and contact information for high-volume third-party sellers. And take a look at this. We're showing you video from Texas after an inmate steals a prison bus. The Leon County Sheriff's Office said Gonzalo Lopez is still on the run. Agencies were working into the overnight hours trying to track him down without luck. One of the local school districts canceled school today due to the search. The Sheriff's Office is asking people in the area to shelter in place and stay inside. Lopez reportedly attacked the bus driver and another person on the bus. They are both expected to be okay. Lopez is serving a life sentence for murder and attempted murder. Authorities say he was being taken to a medical appointment. In a consumer alert, a challenge that's fast becoming a crisis for many parents of young kids. Formula is now 43% out of stock nationwide, up from 31% last month. Consumer advocates are raising questions about the FDA's inspection process and whether or not this bacteria at the Michigan plant could have been detected sooner. And now officials say they're going to cut some packaging regulations to help get new products on the shelves faster. They're also calling for crackdowns on price gouging, and they're working on importing more formula from overseas. Yesterday, President Biden spoke with the CEOs of major retailers and manufacturers about increasing production and inventory. The White House is not ruling out the possibility that President Biden might invoke the Defense Production Act to ramp up the formula supply more quickly. But White House officials say they can't predict at this point when there will be more formula on the shelves. In a health alert this afternoon, President Biden ordered U.S. flags to be flown at half-staff yesterday to mark 1 million coronavirus deaths in the country. Members of Congress held a moment of silence outside the U.S. Capitol. New COVID cases continue to rise across the country. The latest daily average hit nearly 85,000. Normal police need your help finding a woman who vanished, who officers say has a condition that places her in danger. 62-year-old Lisa Putnam Cole is a white woman said to be 5 feet 4 inches tall, weighing 150 pounds with brown hair. Putnam Cole is driving a silver 2012 Toyota Prius with an Illinois license plate LPC 1003. If you have any information where Lisa is, contact Normal PD at 309-454-9535. A Peoria Irish pub suffering over $100,000 in damages due to a fire. Just before 10:30 p.m., the Peoria Fire Department responded to Donnelly's for reports of smoke coming from the roof. When they arrived, firefighters put out flames coming from the vent. Inside, another fire in the kitchen was put out. The cause of the fire was deemed accidental. Damages are estimated to be around $120,000. And 2 people were hurt after a rollover crash on Sterling Avenue near Scenic Drive in Peoria last night. Police say the 2-vehicle crash happened just before 9:20. The driver of the vehicle that rolled over was walking and talking. The occupants of the second vehicle suffered minor injuries. At this time, no arrests have been made. A groundbreaking medical study has uncovered the possible cause of sudden infant death syndrome, or SIDS. SIDS is the unexplained death of a seemingly healthy baby less than a year old, usually while the baby is asleep. Its cause has long been a mystery to the medical community. But a new study may have discovered the reason why a child suddenly dies with no obvious explanation. The Mayo Clinic suspected that SIDS was caused by a defect in the part of the brain that controls arousal from sleep and breathing. Researchers believe that when the baby stopped breathing during sleep, the defect would prevent the child from startling or waking up. On Capitol Hill, the House Select Committee investigating the deadly attack on the U.S. Capitol has now subpoenaed House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy and 4 other Republican lawmakers. The panel wants to speak to them about the events surrounding the January 6th insurrection as the committee gets ready to present its findings to the American public, perhaps as early as next month. Scott McFarland has the story.
A crime and attack unlike any in American history has led to a congressional investigation unlike any other. Now, after nearly 1,000 interviews, the January 6th Select Committee has its sights on 5 Republican congressmen, each of whom has refused to appear voluntarily, including the GOP leader in the House, Kevin McCarthy. The committee knows McCarthy spoke with then-President Trump before, during, and after the attack, something he talked about during an interview with CBS News on January 6th.
I've spoken to the president. I asked him to talk to the nation to tell him to stop this.
McCarthy says the current investigation is not legitimate, and the committee acknowledges these subpoenas mark an unprecedented moment.
An attempted coup and a violent insurrection at the Capitol interrupting the peaceful transfer of power are unprecedented events.
As for the other members called, Alabama's Mo Brooks gave a fiery speech before Trump at the White House Ellipse January 6th.
Today is the day American patriots start taking down names and kicking ass.
The committee says Ohio's Jim Jordan talked to Trump on the 6th and texted White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows earlier about blocking the electoral count, and that Congressman Andy Biggs and Scott Perry were both involved in discussions related to efforts to overturn the 2020 election.
This is all about distracting America from their abysmal record of running America into the ground.
The 5 congressmen have criticized this subpoena and called the committee polarized, with 7 Democrats and 2 Republicans. The committee hasn't indicated what happens if these congressmen defy the subpoena, whether they'll be referred for contempt of Congress prosecution. But the committee has its first hearing set for June 9th, with a final report likely weeks later. Scott McFarland, CBS News, the Capitol.